Yep. Audio confirmed.
Thank you. All right. So, what I said was twice, now the third time. Later in the evening, in Flaris Academy, Matazar is opening and closing drawers, finding what looks to be some sort of a jeweler's eye or some sort of device that would connect onto what looks to be some sort of telescope. This device he uses to scry across different planes and realms. It's what he has described before to Varsha as what he uses to be able to see in the material realm from their pocket dimension. We join as Varsha and both Matazar are in this room as he is scrambling to find pieces. It's somewhere here. Do you know what? Could you? Is there? The piece should be there. As he points
sure,
to. Yes. That good. As he starts to. As he then goes to fit the piece onto this telescope-looking thing. Give me 1 second here. And he grabs the piece, he fits it, and goes, there we go. Take a look. Be careful, though.
Okay, and what exactly does this do?
This will help you understand what I can see.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead.
And I will put it on, I suppose, or use it.
Okay. As you go ahead and close one eye and lean over and look into this telescope-looking object, this artifact, a rush of light seems to overtake as you would assume you are breaching into a different space, maybe even a different time.
Planar telescope?
Yeah, something like that. As
That is
you
awesome.
then peer into this, through the fog of reality and the planes itself, you start to focus, and I think you hear him as well. Yes, just, sorry, it's probably out of focus. Hold on. As you can just sort of hear his, one moment, just trying. There we go. How's this?
And do I see anything different?
Yes.
Oh my god. What do I see?
You start to, as the focus starts to then catch and find detail and precision in looking through this planar telescope. You, in this space, you look down, you see that you are walking in this space. Your feet are there, your hands are also there.
Are they mine?
They are yours.
Okay.
As you look around, you do see that there is a wisp of the Spellwind that sort of joins as well with a low-hanging fog in the air here. There is a low pressure as well that keeps and hangs a lot of this cloud cover down, creeping through the trees that are here. It smells astringent. There is a as if there's carbon in the air. Ahead of you, there is a winding path that leads to what looks to be. Have you ever seen the Castle of Evervale before?
No? Yes? I would assume that I have?
Probably not inside, though.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
God, no.
Yeah. God King, though. As you make your way through this fog and this darkness, you do start to see, peering out of the crest of the fog here, these blankets of atmosphere, you start to see spires of a familiar building, the architecture of Evervale.
Where is this building located? Where's the castle located? Is it in the middle of Evervale? Is it like this big
It is.
hill? Okay.
Yes. As you start to look around, you start to see the fog starts to peel away, and you start to see buildings, familiar buildings that you have once walked through. The fog, as you get closer to the castle, seems to be billowing from the windows, as if a heavy fog or a heavy smoke just belching out from the windows and under from the door frames here as well. As you notice walking or footsteps, you start to hear from behind you.
No.
As like loose dirt is being pushed. It's getting louder, Varsha.
Oh, I turn around. Absolutely, I turn around.
You turn around and you see a cloaked person. There looks to be bundled up more for warmth and maybe for discretion than more for warmth than I think for discretion. There is a hood that is up and over their head, their chin feminine, as well as there is a vine of maybe gray hair, or maybe is it blonde hair that is starting to fall from with under the hood, and they sort of tuck it back. It doesn't look like they see you as they walk sort of directly in your direction as you sort of turn to see this.
Is there anything I can hide behind?
There are several things. There are some carts. There are some wheelbarrows, as well as some barrels that you are able to hide behind if you need to. There is also an old market stall here as well. I think one that is familiar enough to you that to remember that's usually where you would stop with Smith to get some sort of snack or lunch when you made it through here before. But eerily enough, this zone, or this wherever you may be, then whatever plane that you are peering into, whether it be the true Evervale or not, it doesn't seem like there's anyone here. Smoke still billowing, this heavy smoke, as if it was a black fog machine, is sort of belching this heavy smoke out and overflowing over the walls and some of the keep doors, and as well as some of the spires here, as this person starts walking directly toward it, as if they are on some sort of quest.
Okay. Have I ever seen the weather like this before? I'm just trying to figure out if this is real or not. Or if this is really truly on some other plane.
You've never seen the weather like this before. It has rained here before, but you have never seen fog this.
Okay.
Dense.
Do I recognize her at all? I'm assuming I don't.
Make me an insight check.
Yes, okay. Sorry, I have to refresh.
You're fine.
And she still doesn't see me, right?
No.
Okay.
Also, just to let everyone know, the audio is probably
21.
Screwed today because of.
It's good. I like it.
Okay, good. All right. I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to be.
Very moody.
I don't know if it's going to be if we're off sync with the cams, but that's really nothing we can do about it. 21 21, you said? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you recognize this person. Their chin, as well as maybe even like a breeze of wind, maybe adjusted the hood for a moment, and you notice that this is the Loving Queen. As she begins to just sort of march toward the bellowing smoke of this castle. Doesn't look like she's in any sort of hurry, and it doesn't look like she's noticed you. Rain starts to pick up.
Sorry, I'm trying to decide if 3 months of Zen meditation and ridiculousness Varsha would step out and talk to her. Yep, I'm gonna. Sorry. Please don't kill me, Loving Queen. Okay. Yeah, I'll step out.
Okay. You sort of step out of your...
But I want to watch her face and see if she recognizes me as well.
So you try to make yourself seen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm like stepping into her way.
Yeah.
Into her path.
As you do, you see that she doesn't recognize you.
Interesting.
Or at least doesn't budge, as if she doesn't even see you at all. She continues walking.
She doesn't see me at all? Oh, perfect. I follow this bitch. Hell yeah. I just walk behind her.
Yeah. You just sort of step out of the way and notice she
Yeah.
hasn't really seen you, but you do see her as you watch and follow.
This telescope is amazing.
She approaches the doors, large, ornate doors, darkened with time and darkened with who knows what. Through the seam of the door and through the bottom, through the, right in the gap by the threshold, you start to see smoke just sort of creeping through in that dark fog. She fumbles around for 3 keys. She unlocks this old padlock or a door, a lock here on the door that has 3. As she takes them out and turns one of them, turns each of them down, middle, and then the top one, as she then opens the door. The door to this, or the entryway into this castle, you've never seen this before, opens to a large hallway. She continues walking.
I'll follow as long as I can. I'm also just taking notes about how she opened it and the padlock and stuff like that. I'm like making mental notes to be able to share with everybody else.
As you make your way through, she continues walking. There's no stopping in her gait as she begins to saunter through the dark fog that sort of ripples through this keep. There are statues of old heroes that you may have recognized, but you can't quite put their face to a name right now as you pass through this hallway. There are voices chanting as well, echoing through the fog. As you begin to walk forward, she turns left into a room.
Okay, I'm still following. Making mental notes and writing them down, which way she's going. Okay.
As you make the left with her, a large room looks to hold, and I think as you start to focus on what is in the room, you lose track of where she had gone, whether she disappeared or whether she had simply turned and walked out the sight before you is that of hooks that hang off of chains in this room. Hanging on these hooks looks to be some sort of wet fabric. But as you get closer toward it and you start to focus, you realize that there is a bit more of a consistency of this fabric that is not natural. One of the chains swings, and then whatever the shape is turns and reveals a face at the top of this old fabric. And that's when you realize that you're looking at the skin of some unfortunate person. I need you to roll me initiative.
Holy shit. Holy shit.
As this swings towards you.
20.
Okay, you go first as this thing looks towards you and then swings. These sort of limp arms sort of flap towards you as if they're about to claw at you. There is a look of horror, terror, and rage as this creature looks to be invaded by whatever your presence is as they go to attack. But you have speed on them. What do you do?
Okay, I will... No, I won't do that yet, but that would be super fucking cool. I'm so sorry. I have new spells. Okay, I'm going
right?
to... Yeah, and they're fucking awesome, and I totally forgot. I'm gonna go ahead and do Varsha's Lance.
Cool.
Which is an upgraded version of the mental attack that she used to do with Rage.
Yeah.
But now I can do it calm and meditative, all like, yeah. All right, let me see if I have that on the front of this page. I do not. I will roll it here. Hold on.
Take your time.
So it must make an intelligence saving throw.
18.
Yeah. Makes it, breaks it.
Okay. Do I have any, are there any on a failed save target still takes damage, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right. Looks like I've taken how many? On a failed save, the target takes 76?
Half as much.
Oh, on a failed,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. But on a
So-
success, it takes half. All right, yeah, I did that wrong. Okay, got it. All right, 25. What does this look like as you cast Varsha's Lance? Your first time, right?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
So I think originally Varsha used to kind of physically lash out, and I always imagined that she did bring her hand forward and reach out towards whoever she was attacking. So I imagine she does a similar movement now, but we see this like purple lance appear, and she basically just throws the spear.
Okay.
And it will kind of like, I think it'll strike them maybe in the rib cage, even though it's a mental attack. It's like, I imagine they feel like it's real. They think it's real, so it does damage, Matrix style.
Sure. As this, as it starts to hit the chains and it hits this creature dangling from the chains, a thing, as it starts to then swing and the chain starts to dance as well as it reacts to your attack. As 25 damage, it's the...
I think it would only take half that.
It takes half, excuse me.
Right, yeah.
So it's taking 12. It's taking 12, right? Or it's rounded down. Yeah, still enough as you launch this lance, this psychic spear toward this creature. The visual, of course, goes into its chest, and I think it disperses his Spellwind. And as it does, the creature... and then the face falls lifeless as it starts to swing. Lifeless in the room. No longer a threat.
Do I recognize this face?
Make me an insight.
Oh, no. Oh. Mom? Oh, boy. 16.
Yes. Brother Sykes.
Sorry, what? 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 Can I eject myself out of this situation?
Yeah, give me...
Like out of the planar thing? Because
Yeah.
as much as I would love to stay, I think Varsha would be so horrified by that she would...
Make me a Constitution save with disadvantage.
11.
As you try to figure out how to eject yourself from this, you are unable to. You hear footsteps again, sort of getting quieter down the hall.
How was I able to not be seen? But I'm able to interact with him. I hide.
Passing by the doorway is that same cloaked figure again.
Okay, I'll try to follow her, I guess. Fuck. Does Sykes I mean, it's just his skin and his face, right? There's like nothing. Oh,
it was
okay.
I think what the giveaway for it was, without any eyes, it was a little easier for you to sort of make that assumption, considering he usually doesn't have pupils. So it was very easy for you to bridge that gap to be what is only white eyes versus having none.
Right.
So that was, I think, what was that bridge there. You look at it more in this horrified state, and there's no doubt it is Brother Sykes without his eyes, just the skin. As you turn and follow, correct? Yeah, that's what you did. You're following the...
Yeah.
There is more doorways that pass by. As she, up ahead, it looks like there is a smoldering wagon up ahead. Small, maybe a cart size or a wheelbarrow size. Smoldering, it's missing a wheel. It's charred. And as you get closer and you start to see this image, you start to hear whining. As
animal whining?
like a
Human?
like a human,
dog?
like a human, like a small human. As the
Small human. Okay.
yes, like a baby. As
Ew.
the no, babies
Sorry.
are gross. Babies are so gross.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
As you follow the figure, she approaches this cart, the smoldering wreckage, and she plucks from it, you would assume to be a child, swaddled in some sort of cloth. And as she does, the smoke bellowing and coming from this wagon or this cart starts to then disperse, the smoke stopping as if something was to douse it out, as she then swaddles this child. She turns away from this dead end where she had led you in this sight and starts to then walk directly toward you. Her and this swaddled child walk through you as she then continues down the path which you just came. behind you the wreckage of this old wagon or this old cart.
I mean, I follow, I guess.
And you follow her as she begins to sort of pounce the baby on her shoulder. She turns to, she takes another left now. It would have been a right before. Takes another left down a corridor. And I assume you follow her as well. There's still pillars and studs of this masonry that are beginning to just sort of seep this seeping smoke that just sort of fill, I think, the top 6 inches of the ceiling here. It's just this blanket, as if it's trying to escape or find some sort of exit, which is interesting in contrast to the exterior smoke, which was falling. So you follow the loving queen as she swaddles this baby and walks through this the halls here, the corridors of this vast stone castle, as she approaches another ornate door.
Ornate how?
Ornate in the fact that the hinges seem to be gilded on a darkened wood. The hinges may be either brushed gold or they are gold themselves. Which is a wonderful contrast to the charred wood that either was decorative or is a result of whatever has happened here.
Is there a particular decoration on the door?
Make me a perception check with disadvantage.
Well, it's probably not going to get worse than an 8, but we could potentially roll a 1, so 2.
There isn't.
Okay.
As you watch, she approaches the door, and she walks through it. Doesn't open the door. She walks through it like she walked through you. Leaving you in a hallway.
Can I do the same thing? Can I just walk through it?
Make me an Arcana.
$21.
Yes.
Whoa. Okay. Cool.
You're able to.
Does it feel like anything when I do it?
You're able to chase her through, and I think for a moment there is, it's almost like the pressure of going underwater, just for those the 3 or so inches that this door is thick. I think as you go through, it feels in that space. It just feels like you're 20 feet underwater. Your ears start to pop as just for a second, as this pressure of reality or whatever it may be passes through you, or you pass through it. It's hard to tell. But either way, you're on the other side. A large throne room is on the other side of this door. A moth-eaten carpet spans the causeway of this room up to a dais and a throne. And up ahead, making their way up this causeway, is still this figure. She approaches, and she says,
My baby. It isn't long. Yes, this is yours, my love.
and she places the child on the throne.
Oh my god, what the fuck? Okay. Have I
She-
ever seen a picture of the God King? Do I know what he looks like? Okay, all right.
You don't have any, like, there are paintings of the God King, but they're only always war paintings, which are in him
Okay.
defeating swaths of armies, and Spellkin, which always has a helmet on. But it's not like a child. You're not like looking at
No,
a
no.
child in armor or anything like that. But you do not see. It's usually not depicted his face.
I was only asking because I want to know if they're around this throne room. I'm trying to
These
gauge
pictures?
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if this is now that I'm seeing or if it's before potentially. But I wouldn't know what to compare it to.
Yeah, exactly. You've never been in
Right.
this location.
No, I haven't. But if I've seen paintings of him, then potentially I could be like, oh, that's the battle of whatever.
Make me a history check.
Okay. I'm not very good at those. Or I am.
Or you are. As you look around and you start to see some of the frames, the empty frames in the room, you approach them, and as you do, you start to see fading in is a canvas, and then also fading in is the paint, and then also fading in is the paintings you remember seeing.
So it is now? Okay. All right.
As you sort of look back, and the loving queen says,
I'll be back, honey. I love you. Be safe.
and she bends down and kisses the forehead, or what you would assume to be the forehead of this swaddled baby. As she turns, she raises a hand into the air, and runes that are underneath the carpet, but also partially not underneath the carpet, light up as if it was some sort of circle. And as quick as you showed up in this...
I want to see those runes. That's teleportation.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And you need, for teleportation, you need the rune where you're going and where you are currently, right? Which means one of those runes in that fucking ritual is here, this space.
Okay.
The throne room, right?
Yes.
Okay.
In theory.
Maybe. In theory. Yeah.
So you are trying to look and probably commit one to memory?
Yes.
Make me a wisdom check. Well, yeah.
15? That's a save. Sorry. 1 second.
That's all right. I mean, 15 is still,
Okay.
still good enough. Yeah, you're able to, you think you are able to, you notice some unique runes in this circle, but it's only there
Okay.
for a moment or two as
Right. Okay.
she disappears. If the runes fade after, and you are left in a room with a baby sort of slumping over as they're trying to, like, find their balance, you know, as like babies do because they're giant head, as this baby is trying to get comfortable. As it does, and as the blanket sort of, as the baby just sort of undulates and moves like a baby would, and sort of wriggles and writhes under blankets if they're uncomfortable, the blankets fall. And when they do, you see a small skeletal figure.
Ew.
And as you start to make focus with it, or you start to focus on it, it then starts to grow into a human-sized skeleton. The blankets, of course, that it was swaddled in are all now piled at the underneath the pelvis of this creature as this human-sized skeleton starts to grow into its place. You see...
Sorry, to be clear, this baby morphed into this?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. The swaddled baby, or you would assume, blankets fell, and it was a skeleton that grew into a human-sized skeleton. The blankets seem to gather and knot inside the rib cage as if it was its intestines. They sort of slither up into its stomach and sit right into the pelvis and underneath the rib cage. And as they do, they start to twist. And as it does start to twist, a focus starts to then, you start to notice that there is that where the blanket that is twisted in and under its rib cage starts to then represent intestines. As you look up from this site, the skeleton is looking at you. Now there's a crown on their head. And some of the smoke bellows in as well. And licks of this smoke will stretch upward. And as it does and grasp onto different places and bones of this skeleton, when the fog dissipates or the smoke dissipates, armor is left where it was. As it then starts to...
I would like to do something before that armor fully.
Sure, yeah, it's just
covers
sort of
this
happening,
thing.
and he's
Yeah.
looking at you.
I want to do the lance again. If
Okay.
this is the God King, I think Varsha would not be able to help herself. I think I would not be able to help
Okay.
myself.
Go ahead and do the lance thing again.
But it has to roll an intelligence saving throw.
$17.
It does not make it.
So it takes a whole lot of damage.
24. That's the same fucking roll. That's so creepy.
24. Well, it was 25 before. Yeah, as you go ahead and if there's you once again you reach into what's going on.
I just read the entirety of the spell, Cord.
Oh yeah, go on.
Yeah, alternatively, you can utter a creature's name. If the named target is within range, it becomes the spell's target, even if you can't see it. I'm sorry, what? Can we adjust this really quickly?
Sure.
I want to have said God King, whether it attacks him or not. I just want to know if it's him.
And then it would attack. What was
Potentially
it
the God King, if he's here.
again? Yeah. Okay.
I'm basically trying to determine if this thing is the God King or not.
Sure.
So I don't really care if the attack hits.
But it would fly toward. I'm trying to. It would fly. It would then the named
If
target.
the named target is within range,
becomes
if the
the
named
spell's
target is within
so you
120
throw it,
feet.
and then you say the God King and hope it sort of goes
Yeah.
wherever. Yeah, it
Yeah.
still finds its mark onto
The
this
skeleton?
skeleton, yeah. As it does, you see. I need you to roll initiative first of all,
Okay.
as well as I do.
Okay.
Great, didn't roll it very well. As you throw this lance, this purple lance, into this creature, into this image of the God King, there is the intestines that were knotted up underneath. One sort of falls to the ground, or at least a strand of intestine falls to the ground. You also notice that there are hooks and barbs at the bottom of that ropey intestine, as it's the skeletal figure opens its jaw and starts to walk toward you. There are some of
it's
the
incapacitated, technically.
Okay.
Sorry to be an asshole.
Okay, yep, you're right. So it is incapacitated. So it stands there. There is
Yeah.
some of these intestines are onto the ground, and like I said, there are some barbs and hooks at the ends of these severed intestines that were once blankets of this swaddled baby. It's your turn again. You've rolled better than it did for initiative.
Sorry, I'm reading this spell
Mhm,
description because
mhm.
it would be so fucking cool if I could do it.
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Hold on one second.
Mm-hmm.
The figure where the crown was holding before starts to then grow and starts to turn to these like calcified antler type phalanges that sort of come out of its symmetrically off of each side, as well as a spine that comes a large spine or calcified spine that reaches and crests up above its forehead. Two other horns start to hook around into the air as you start to then see the tendons of what the skeleton once was start to then still incapacitated, but narratively, you start to see that the tendons are still, or where the tendons would be, are this wriggling mass of intestine that seem to have hooks around wrapped around the wrists as well. And I'm going to bring you to this map.
Holy fuck!
As it is your turn.
Shit. Okay. Okay. Fuck.
What do you do?
I'm gonna cast a different spell, I think.
Okay.
Let me just check. I cast darkness on it.
Okay. What does that look like?
I think the billowing smoke that seems to be around in this space or around him, I think we see kind of dance toward him, and then it changes from that like white ashy color to black darkness, and so it's this kind of like black smoke that's around him now. Yeah, she's just taken the environment and changed it a bit.
Okay. As you sort of pull from the fog and from the flames nearby and start to cast darkness around this seeming god king. His turn. He's incapacitated, right? Is there any way I can...
No, not anymore.
Okay. He will move toward you. Yep. As he steps forward, starts to bound toward you. This creature, this skeletal menace, like I said, there is this large crest of these calcified bones that are just these like ungodly bones that are pulling out of its skull as it reaches towards you, and as it does, these look like these tongues of barbed intestines start to lick out from its palms, and they go to reach out and touch you. I'm going to need you. No, it is an attack. 21.
I'll shield.
Okay.
So no, it will not.
And what is your AC now?
22.
As it misses, it still does reach and tries to attack you with its claws. And that's a miss. This one is a 25. So this one misses again off of your shield, but it's able to go ahead and use slam attack and hit you. For 11 bludgeoning and 8 necrotic, as a sort of a slap of skeletal bone strikes you in the head. I think if we were watching, or if there's a camera nearby, there is like this inky handprint left as it starts to fade away as you take some of this necrotic damage. I also need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
26.
26. I'm sorry, with disadvantage. With disadvantage.
18.
Still great. As the hand hits you, you're able to shrug off any of the effects that may have stayed. It's your turn.
I cast Stone Skin.
Okay. What does that look like?
I actually think that my skin just looks like it's dehydrating. And all the moisture is being sucked out, and so you can kind of see, like, I look muscular and like skeletal almost, but then it hardens and I look like a weird skeletal Varsha, but I'm protected from his future attacks.
Okay. He goes to attack you one more time. 21.
Does shield last until... No, I'd have to do it again now, right? Because it's the start of a new turn. This is terrifying, but yes, I'll shield.
Okay.
Just blow through all my fucking mana. No big deal.
23 for
Yeah.
this. So it goes to attack you with two of its attacks, and then also licking out from its. It opens up its mouth and like a barbed tongue tries to then. I think as you're dodging or you're shielding against both of these skeletal hands, this tongue reaches out and I need you to make another Constitution save. You got the wrong stats.
10.
10, okay. As the claws, they sort of dig in to your mouth around here. You feel around your cheeks and your nose, just this clawing of razor sharp, like a cat's claw.
Holy shit.
Just sort of pulling your mouth closed and toward it. And I need you to make a strength check as it's pulling you toward it. You also, your failed Constitution saving throw gives... It inflicts... Oh, never mind. You are paralyzed.
Okay. Does my stone skin give me anything for that, or is it just half damage?
It'll be half damage.
Okay.
As you
9 for the strength save.
get pulled into the creature's mouth.
Holy shit.
The skeletal maw is open. There's this growl and this laughter that's sort of erupting. As you can't quite do anything, and you're sort of paralyzed in fear as well as dread, as this barbed tongue pulls you and your mouth closer to it, almost like this forbidden kiss. As you get closer and closer, your eyes close in this form of dread and terror, and for a moment there is this tingling, this numbness that erupts from your face and then down into your body. As you feel whatever this necrotic effect is. I need you to make a Constitution save with advantage.
$22. Or 26.
Advantage, 26.
Excuse me.
Yeah, so as you are able to do that, you are then pulled back into your bed at Flaris Academy. But you have a sinking feeling that the Queen knows you're there.
Shit.
And she found you. We're going to go to break, everybody. We'll be back in just a bit.
I totally thought you were going to kill me.
Yeah, that's it. I'm going to kill
Vengeance for my excitement about Silent Hill.
How dare you?
Yep.
I will be back, everybody.
Are you familiar with the theremin, boy?
He mused aloud, and although his apprentice was indeed in the room, it seemed almost as if the mage was speaking to himself. The fireplace crackled and snapped, full of fresh logs the boy had practiced on earlier that very day. The mage was sitting at his desk, hunched over some parchment and books, carefully scribing something with ink and quill.
It was originally known as the etherphone, and it's an instrument controlled without physical touch. Two rods sense the position of your hands and control the oscillators for the frequency. Sound is created by finding the perfect relation from your hands to the rods. Now, when you learn to play the theremin, they teach you specific hand gestures and finger positions for each note. You technically don't need these gestures, but it makes it easier to be precise each time. This is the same for somatic and verbal components, or any other tools we use. Like your staff there.
At this, he lifted his quill slightly, turning to the side to peer at the boy over the rim of his glasses.
Do you understand? Good.
Lord Creighton, we have reports of more sick in Walden. Denizens are blaming the crops, sir.
We will see what we can do. Smith, join our sworn sent to Walden. Find out what we can do. Keep the people in good spirits. We cannot afford to cancel the festival.
As he commands, Lord Creighton.
Carrie, at first light, I'll be leaving town to join the resistance. I know not what hardships await me, but I would sooner die than serve the Empire after all the wrongs they have committed.
Hey! You getting in or what?
Although, first impressions with my contact are making me wonder who I should be more fearful of.
Eons ago, during the age of the Magi, the world was something other. Magic is all that there was and all that was needed. Legend states that a cataclysmic event brought a great frozen age to the world of Lacrin. and soon after, a new era dawned. Though they say the ancient magics of the Magi still lie buried and lost, scattered around the world, lie in wait for those with the courage to wield it to discover. Welcome to the world of Lacrin and the continent of Thelmecia. Noble knights, roaming orcs, mischievous goblins, and idyllic wondrous lands, just waiting to be explored. Now, a new peril aspires to plunge Thelmecia into despair once more, but not before a few unheard of heroes take their chance at triumph. Table Story, Darkfire.
Well,
That's it. This is us.
That's
Spellwind.
it.
That's what we
That's
got.
the end of
Right,
this week's
dude.
Spellwind.
Thank you so much for
Will be-
watching Spellwind. I was very happy to be here and part
Yep.
of it.
Jet was here too.
Yeah, it's gonna be a Jet special.
We were here in spirit.
A Jet episode next week. I didn't even touch my cigarettes this week.
How did
I have to get really gruff
Not-
with Ty as well because I've got 2 Londoner characters on Table Story now.
How did I not upset my neighbors?
I don't know.
You did. They called the police.
Look through the little
Yeah,
hole in the
they're on
wall,
the way.
PB.
They're on the way.
They're on
Just
the
look
way.
through the little hole in the wall and see what they're up to.
That's it. I don't know how to end this.
This is the end. Thanks
This
so
is
much,
it.
everybody, for watching. Sorry for the weird thing. If you only care about Spellwind and you don't care about
Yep.
Silent
I'm
Hill,
Take that
so
D&D
sorry.
directory.
sucks
But
sucks
thank
to be
you.
you. But we'll be back with Spellwind next week. We
Yeah.
have Leech on Saturdays and 100 Club on Mondays and Kingmakers on Tuesdays if you want to see the other shows. And we'll be back with a proper episode next week. Won't we?
That first hour in was canon. I do want to let that.
To be honest,
Yes.
that was awesome. It was like crazy good as
It
well.
was so good.
Good?
It was
Oh,
so
sweet.
incredibly good.
I let Brad know. I was
Yeah.
like, Brad, I've never played Silent Hill. Wish me luck. He was like, all right. I was like, okay.
Yeah. He was like, shall I make it like Silent Hilly? And I was like, dude, add fog and shit. 100%.
Yeah, like,
just
you
for
got
that.
it.
It's so good.
Add fog and baby themes. That's it, yeah.
Add fog and baby themes. Oh, we're doing this. I can't.
Oh, yeah, everyone's got to freeze. And then, yep, this is it. He doesn't know where she is. People are freezing. We were trying to end the episode.
That should be the title of this. second half.
Phoebe doesn't know where she is.
Phoebe crying.
All right, and that's it. And this is it. This is how we end the thing now. It's tradition, and I'm gonna end the stream. Actually, I'm gonna do this, and then we raid someone. Right? That's how it works. This is how it works.
Yeah, I'll find someone to raid. If you enjoyed us reacting to things, we're going to be doing this with every game announcement for some time.
And I'm probably
We're
going
going
to
to be halfway through existing shows.
the audio. All right, bye everyone.
Goodbye.
Get